Well, because at one point, there was a whole sweep that happened with the Philly mob,
Yeah.
where Skinny Joe Merlino gets arrested along with like 46 people.
Yeah, that's the New York case. Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. Got nothing to do with
Now,
me. Yeah.
so at that point, you had nothing to do with these guys at all.
Nothing. No.
Well, and I think Skinny Joey got like $5 million bail, and they had recorded conversations on him and everything else like that. What ultimately happened with that whole case?
Well, Joey went into this time and he got out. He just got out. He's still on supervised release from what I understand. He's living in Florida right now. And they say he's still the boss of the family. And there's a street boss and underboss up at Philly running everything. And there's still a crew in Boston. The remnants from my old crew and whoever else they made up there, I don't know. I shut this off in 1999, to be honest with you. I really don't pay attention to what's going on the street right now. I hear things, I just leave it at that, but whatever they're doing now is none of my business. I don't even want to know, to be honest with you.
Well, you get out of prison in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, do they put you into the witness protection program?
Yes. They did. They put me in Tennessee. I went right to Memphis. I was there for 5 years. I was in the witness protection, I think, for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And as soon as I was all done with that, I signed out and started, got my name back, Robert Luisi. And I think it was 17, I went to Florida, 2017. And then I came back to Boston 2018.
Well, explain to me what witness protection is. Like, tell me the steps that, the feds kind of go through to create a whole new identity and to protect you from people who might want to kill you.
Well, you go into the Marshal Service. The Marshals take care of all that. Once you're going in there, you're out of the feds' hands. If they need you, they got to go through the Marshals. And what they do is you get a new Social Security number, passport, new name, the whole deal. And with me, they stuck me in Tennessee where there were no Italians, really. Nobody like me around. They stuck me down there. And I liked it in the beginning. I met a woman down there. I got married under my alias, Alonzo Esposito. And that didn't last too long, unfortunately. I was fresh out of prison. I think I just rushed into a relationship too fast. But I married a beautiful woman down there. And I was in Tennessee, but dying to go back to Boston and see my family, to be with my children.
So the whole time when you're under witness protection, you can't see your family at all?
No, that would have to be planned, if they would even do that. To call them, you got to go through Washington. You just can't call them on the phone. Everything's protected. If you violate that, you get in trouble. So I was very careful of not breaking the rules down there. I might have cheated once or twice with some phone calls, but pretty much I did what they said to do. I wanted a new chance at life. That's why I went down there. I really thought I could do it. I didn't want to go back home to Boston at the time because I didn't know what I was going to turn into if I came back home or what was going to happen.
Well, what did you leave behind? Like wife, kids? Break it down for me.
3 children at the time, my wife. They didn't go into the program. When I did what I did, they moved to Florida. My wife bought a condo, a home down in Sunrise. And my mother bought a home in Tamarack, and they were living down there. But while I was in there, I had a 20-year sentence. My wife really wanted to be back home with her family, so they lasted a few years, and they went back to Boston.
I mean, was there any danger that the mob might go after your family for cooperating?
I never believed that, no. I never believed that. It's about our families. We're not, the Sicilian mafia is different from here, Vendettas and everything else, that's really not going to happen. There were guys in the Bonanno family that I was in prison with. They ratted, they were informants, and their kids were still on the street working with everybody. So all that other, unless my son was involved, it might have been a problem for them. Maybe they would have went after him, But my son had nothing to do with that. 13 years old at the time. They're not going to bother nobody.
Well, you cooperated, but you don't consider yourself a rat.
I never testified against anybody. I didn't. Let someone come and say I put them in prison. I did the wrong thing, Vlad. I'm not going to say that I didn't. I should have never did that. And maybe you could call me a rat. I don't know. But did I rat? No. Did I put one of my friends in prison? No. I didn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Well, at one point, you actually left the witness protection program.
Yes, I did, yeah.
How many years in did you leave?
I think it was 2 years. I think maybe a little over 24 months. And then I signed out.
Was there something that happened that made you feel like, okay, I'm going to get out of this program now?
No, not really. You know, I got a great job as soon as I got out of prison. I have a background we talked about earlier in construction. I got a job right away when I got out. When I hit Tennessee, I got a supervisor manager job. From there, I worked for Sandusky Cabinets. They were out of Chicago. They had a big plant in Tennessee. I went there. I was a quality control manager for them. You know, I had all my insurances. I had everything I need. I had beautiful cars, and we had a house, and I just didn't feel I needed the marshals anymore. You know?
Well, you said you actually prayed for your old Philadelphia mob friends, especially Marlino, in his time of trouble, and you hope that he finds a way out.
Yeah, I do. For all of them, to be honest with you. You know, I really do. I mean, the life today, it's not like when I grew up with the wise guys in the late 70s and the 80s. That was the time, you know. You know, Joey's father was an underboss in the family years ago before he went to prison. Joey's the same thing, George. They all grew up in this life, all around these guys. You know, but it's not what it used to be. It's not like that anymore. It's sad. They just had a meeting in Philly in 2015. They made a few guys, and one of them was wired. I mean, where are we going with this now? You know? And then again, they got my friends on tape. I know, I call them my friends. I don't know what they call me, Vlad, but I don't care. If there's one thing I learned, you know, I have a degree in theology, and I also have a book up on Amazon, God's Plans Revealed. And I believe it's not what they think about you, it's what you think about them. I don't have hate or malice in my heart for anybody.
Well, you said, I know they'd like to kill me, but I have love in my heart for them.
Yeah.
I had an awakening. They have to come to a point where they say, I had enough of this.
That's something you got to do on your own. No one could ask you, force you to do that. You know? When that thing happened to me in 98, I'm not going to say I denounced God, but it was hard for me to believe with the things that we were doing. But when I seen what I saw, I knew there was a devil, and I knew there was Jesus Christ. And that changed my life. I went from that night being a die-hard gangster to want to see Christ, to be honest with you. Because I wanted to know what happened to me, why this thing happened to me. And I got my answers when I searched.